Lieutenant Kidd, do you copy?
The whole thing just collapsed.
For the first time in 5 years, NBC's 3 Chicago series have crossed over for an epic event. The One Chicago crossover aired on January 29, 2025, with consecutive episodes of Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago P.D. And we're recapping what happened in 3 minutes or less. Be warned, major spoilers follow. The event begins on Chicago Fire, where Station 51 is called to respond to explosions in the basement of a high-rise in downtown Chicago. Lieutenant Kelly Severide and Engine 51 arrive and learn the explosions were caused by a deliberate fire set in the building's server room.
Identity thieves pulling a robbery like this for data they could just hack? Now these offenders are after something.
The room held records for the city's employee pension fund and a flash drive with $250 million in cryptocurrency. When Severide tries to retrieve it, he finds 2 masked men attempting to steal it. Police are called in, and Sergeant Trudy Platt is shot while confronting the thieves. She is later found by her husband, Station 51 firefighter Randall Mouch McCollum. Meanwhile, Chicago police officer Adam Ruzek chases a suspect into the subway, but the explosions cause the tunnel to cave in. The crossover continues with an episode of Chicago Med, where Officer Platt is being treated for her gunshot wounds. Other victims of the explosion are there as well, including a severely burned woman who cannot be identified. Meanwhile, the subway cave-in leaves Officer Ruzek and Fire Lieutenant Stella Kidd trapped in a subway car with civilians, and Ruzek realizes his suspect is likely in the car with him. Back at Chicago Med, police begin to suspect the burn victim may be one of the thieves. The crossover concludes with an episode of Chicago P.D., where Ruzek and Kidd discover the subway car is running out of air.
You know, I think it's getting hotter down here.
Severide and other firefighters work to dig through the rubble to free them. Police uncovered that the burn victim is a former city employee who contracted mesothelioma on the job and is dying. Investigators locate the motel room used by the suspects and learn they used old smuggling tunnels in the subway to access the server room. Firefighters use the same tunnels to reach the subway car before it runs out of air. Inside the car, Ruzek identifies the suspect, who pulls a gun and takes Kidd hostage. He is confronted by Ruzek and the firefighters and is ultimately shot and killed. Further investigation reveals the thieves had an inside person at the building, former police officer and building security guard Lauren Bates, who also contracted mesothelioma on the job. She is arrested and Trudy pulls through surgery and will recover. Severide and Kidd decide to take some time off after the ordeal as the episode ends.
Head up to the Dells or Cancun. Your call.
And that's our recap of the One Chicago crossover, now streaming on Peacock. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video, and thanks for watching.